And our second place finisher in tonight's race is Jamie McMurray. He drove the number 1 McDonald's Chevrolet for Earnhardt Ganassi with Felix Sabates. And Jamie had a strong car, showed it much of the night, led a lot of laps, and had a very solid second place finish here at Darlington. Your thoughts?
Well, Bono just we had a good car, but Bono called a really good race, and qualifying first and getting to have that pit stall, it made a huge difference. You know, we'd beat 3 or 4 cars out of the pits each time, and most of the time we would come out in the lead, and then we could lead 15 or 20 laps. So we had a really good car, and we had good pit stops all night, and Bono called a good race, and it just all kind of went our way. I didn't really have anything at the end for the 11. We never could get our car tight enough. We kind of creeped up on it all night long, and just never could get the car tight enough to where I felt like I could really hustle it. It was always kind of on edge. But all in all, it was a great night for us, great weekend for us.
Thank you, Jamie. It certainly was. Had that Bill France Jr. decal on there. Certainly that was special tonight. Let's take questions now for Jamie. If you have one, raise your hand. We'll bring you the wireless mic here in the Infield Media Center. Questions for Jamie. Jennifer has one right here, Andrew.
Jamie, it was a great weekend for you in both series. Can you talk about a little bit about where you think you are right now? The great start to the season, then it sort of kind of came down a little, and now you seem to be coming back up.
Well, we actually have, even like last week at Richmond, we were fastest on one of the practices. We've been, like, our cars have been really fast. We just haven't been able to get the finishes out of it. And early on, and even in the race tonight, we led some laps and we ran the top 5, and then towards the end we kind of got pushed back because of the way the pit strategy worked out. And I was kind of thinking the same thing. I'm like, even if you have to run 10th tonight, just don't put yourself in a bad position here. So, our season has actually been really good. Winning the 500 and almost winning at Talladega and running second again tonight. I mean, we've been able to put ourselves in the position to win 3 races this year, and I don't know that in my career I've ever been able to do that, much less in the first 8 or 10 races. So I probably haven't done a good enough job at the races that our car wasn't good enough of getting I'll joke around, but like a Matt Kenseth night where you have a 20th place car and you can finish 10th with it. I probably haven't done a good enough job about that on the other weekends. But all in all, I mean, it's really impressive the cars that they're able to build at Earnhardt Ganassi. When I left there in 2005, you leave to go to a bigger team and you think everything's going to be better, and it's just it's been amazing coming back and seeing just the results and how much different everything has been for me.
Let's go up to the press box for a question for Jamie, and also we have Kurt Busch joining us, but let's go press box first.
Jamie, you've run good at a lot of tracks this year, but did you expect to run this good here?
Well, this has been one of my favorite tracks. And I think in 2003 or 2004, I led quite a bit of this race and had a bad pit stop with 10 laps to go, and Terry Labonte ended up winning. But this has always been one of my favorite tracks. And I won a race here in Rusty's Nationwide car, and I don't know. It's weird how you have some tracks that you struggle at every time you go to, and there's other places that you go to and you always run well. And Darlington has just always been a really good track for me. I always liked this place.
Let's hear now also from Kurt Busch. He's joined us. He's our third place finisher in tonight's race. He drives the number 2 Miller Lite Dodge for Penske Racing. And Kurt had a strong car out there tonight. Talk about your run here this evening.
Yeah, when we first started off tonight, I thought we were in for a long battle. Our car was very loose to start off, and we were very loose at Richmond last week to start off. But when we got back to the race shop last week, we figured out what we had wrong, and I just thought we had the same thing happen to us again, and just tried to protect the race car. I tried to keep it off the fence and just kind of nurse it through each of its pit stops early on. And the guys were solid. Our adjustments started coming too. And we were the best at the end. Our car really came on strong with 3 runs to go. That's when you have to be in position. We were in a great pit strategy position to just take 2 tires on the last stop. And so it really worked out in our favor. We also had most of our restarts on the outside lane, which I felt more comfortable in. And so when things go your way, things just seem to click, and hopefully you end up with a top 5 out of it. And we did tonight with our Miller Lite Dodge. So very proud of this run. I didn't have much for Hamlin and McMurray. I did at certain points, but I didn't have it at the end. Those guys hit it just right. So for us to battle all night, to finish third at the Lady in Black, we'll take it.
Okay, well, let's go out to questions now for either Jamie or Kurt. We'll go here with Steve and then go back to Tom. Go ahead. Go ahead, Steve.
It's for Jamie, Steve Richards with PRN. The statistics for Dover have not been too well for you, but going into that race this week or next weekend with this finish, with this team, with this car, how much confidence do you have next weekend?
Actually, that's been a good track for me. I maybe haven't had the results there, but that's one of the tracks on the schedule that I always really look forward to going to. So, I about won that race, I don't know, 2-3 years ago. I led it till I think the last lap, and my buddy Kenseth ended up passing me. So that's actually been a really good track, and I know that, I can only kind of go off of what the one car did last year. And I know the 42 felt like they ran really well there, and I know Bono seemed pretty pumped up about going to Dover. It's getting close to where he's from, so those guys always look forward to getting to those tracks, and I enjoy that place. The thing about Dover is if your car is just a little bit off at that place, you'll get a long green flag run, and you can lose a lot of time. So your car's got to handle really well there.